Jeremy James.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Eric Bartlett.
Sherry.
Fred Flintstone. Jorge.
Jenny. Alright, will the person who's recording please raise their hand and step right on up. Alright, thank you, JJ. Hi everyone, thank you for being here this evening. My name is Evelyn Munoz, and today I'm here to speak to you about why sex education should be taught at school rather than at their home, the child's home. Over the years, there has been a lot of controversy as to why sex ed should or should not be taught at school. There are people who believe that sex education should be taught at school by a professional, and there are those people who believe that sex education should be taught by the parents at the child's home. Sex education should be taught at school because parents sometimes don't have enough knowledge. It's not that they are dumb in the subject, it's that they don't really know as much as a professional would, because they are the ones who went to school and study and major in that. Secondly, parents often feel intimidated and they don't feel comfortable speaking to their child the reasons why sex is good or bad, or the pros and cons, and what are the risks that involve being sexually active. And secondly, because schools provide them with accurate information, many times parents lie to their children saying why sex is bad, and often the children become misled and do activities which are not safe, and that's how they become pregnant or have STDs and things like that. Parents often don't have the knowledge because the professor actually went to school, majored in that subject, and that's their job, that's what they get paid for, that's what they do for a living. They teach kids about sexual education, about their body, about what their body goes through and all the changes that happens to them. Adults only know what they have been taught and what they have experienced in their life. Although the years go by, things change. The way they were taught is different than how it is being taught now. Mainly because times change, kids do different things than their parents did when they were younger. When they were younger, parents really weren't that much experience and all that. Secondly, when many parents are asked why they don't speak to their children about sex, they mainly say it's because they're scared and intimidated by the fact of seeing their baby grow up and mature into an adult. Also, parents feel that when they bring up the topic about sex, they feel that it's giving their child the okay to go and have sex, and that necessarily is not true. Just because the child is informed doesn't mean they're going to go ahead and have sex. It's just for them to know that, hey, if you do this, this is going to happen to you. Also, parents, no matter how old a child is, in the parents' eyes, they're always going to be their baby, their precious child, and the parents don't want to believe that their innocent child could do wrong or become involved in such a mature and adult activity. So that's probably why parents are afraid to speak to their children. Ultimately, schools will provide students the accurate information. Most of the time, parents will lie to their children and tell them that if you, go have sex the first time, you can't get pregnant, for example, which is totally not true. No matter what, it just takes one time to get pregnant, to get an STD, or whatever the case may be. Also, religion plays a major role in the way parents teach their children about sex. Maybe the religion tells them that they can't speak about sex until they're married, or whatever the case may be. So, parents sometimes don't fully explain everything in detail, like the school will. And if a child wants to know something, they might be scared to ask their parent, and they can go to a counselor or their teacher and ask them, and that way be informed of what the truth is and what the consequences of their actions are. Sex education should be taught to all children in schools, not just public or private schools because it affects their everyday life of what choices they make, relationships, and just overall a lifetime. It has a consequence. One action you make can affect your whole lifetime. According to Advert, they say that sex education aims to reduce the risk of potentially negative outcomes from sexual behavior such as unwanted pregnancies and STDs. That's pretty much the goal for parents and schools. They don't want their children to be sick or have unwanted pregnancies. So parents should allow their child's school to teach their children sex, but parents should also reinforce what the school is teaching them and also let them know their beliefs and what they believe in, what is right and what is wrong, and have the child listen to both sides of the story. Parents should teach their children, so should schools. Sex education has always been controversial, but if parents and schools come together into an agreement, it would ultimately benefit the only person they both care about, and that's the child. Schools look for the child's best interest as well as the parents. They only want the best for the kids, and this is why I believe that sex education should be taught in school. So I'd like to thank you guys and have a good night.
Wow. You did it. Thank you.
Alright.
You promised spear. I gotta go.
Alright, you can cut it now.
Sex education rocks.
Thank you.
Last